Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. First of all, thank you to all my new subscribers in the past few days. Appreciate the support. Let's keep it going. Let everybody know we're working hard on this channel to bring you something useful in this game. Anywhere from instruction to trick shots to cool shots to reviews, you name it. I try to work with a lot of different aspects of the game, as well as a lot of ability levels. Okay, so let's just keep it going. I do appreciate it. Couldn't do it without each and every one of you. Today, what I want to do is I want to go back in time a little bit. It's a product that I've wanted for a long time. Just received it yesterday, matter of fact. It is the Magic Rack, the 9-ball and 8-ball. What I'm going to do is review a couple older racks that I've had and see some of the issues with those versus how it matches up with the Magic Rack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my camera angle. I'm going to do a couple reviews, and then I'm going to hit a couple off the Magic Rack and see how the reaction with the 8 and the 9-ball rack is. And first of all, before I get into that, I want to give Florian Kohler a big shout out. He reached 1 million subscribers, and that's Venom Trick Shots. If you've never seen his channel, I don't know where you've been, first of all, but you got to check it out. The guy's amazing. He deserves 1 million for sure. And I'm sure he's going to be at 2 million here shortly. So congratulations, great job, keep it up. All right. So what I want to do here is I want to point out a couple racks that we're all used to. So first of all, we remember the not old, we still use them, the wooden racks. I have a 9-ball rack here, and I've used it about 3 times, mainly because when I do rack, all right, it's very difficult. I can get it on the spot fine, but to get all of the balls touching and then get the rack off without hitting the balls and as you can see the play in the balls, okay? They're not all touching, okay? So that obviously will affect the rack or your break, okay? So, we've all used these. We do have the wood triangles as well that we can get a little bit tighter, but they do give a little bit, so it's really hard to get that tight rack that we're all looking for. Now, excuse me. Another thing, I'm gonna go back in time. I've had this for a long time, the Sardo M3000. It's the Sardo tight rack. The way we used to use this was there were 2 marks here in the back where you would line it up. You actually didn't need the spot. You would actually put this in and then you would feed the balls in. Depending on which game you were playing. So if I was going to rack for a 9-ball rack, it would be something like this, and then simply press down, and then you would move forward and pick it off. Now, it really does a pretty decent job, but if you look here, my 2-ball in the back is very not touching. Now I moved it into place. My 1-ball is not not bad. Not a bad rack. The 6-ball is not touching the center ball, the 9-ball. Okay, so again, not as tight as we want it. Okay, get these 2 out of the way. My next one is the Delta 13. It is a metal rack, as you can hear. Now you can really get these pretty tight. As you can see. Now, if I look, I'm pretty tight. My 7-ball is a little loose, not touching the 5. Okay, so I would say I'm 90% on a tight rack on the Delta 13. So very impressed with this, okay? I'll move these out of the way. So a product that I did receive just the other day, comes in a pack. It's the Magic Ball Rack Pro, okay? That's for 8-ball. And then I received the 9 and 10 ball rack as well. So your 8-ball rack will look something like this, or you would put the top of it on the spot. Okay. Now, what are some of the advantages? It gives you a perfect rack every time. They state that you can rack in less than 15 seconds. It saves wear on the table. And what do they mean by that? Well, you know, I'm not going to throw these in any type of order. I'm just going to throw them in. I'm just going to prove a point to you. You see so many people doing this, right? Or racking back here and sliding forward. And you've seen a lot of tables with the wear marks. Okay? You've seen a lot of those wear marks on the table. So that's what they're talking about. It decreases the wear on the table. No need to tap a ball. All right, we've all seen someone tap a ball on a table, okay? No need to do that. Okay, and the last thing is you don't need to carry your own triangle or anything. I've seen videos where people actually roll these up with a piece of paper and some tape. What they do is they have a Q extension and they'll actually wrap it around and then tape it, take it with them to a tournament, what have you, and use their own rack. It's very user-friendly, it travels well, things like that, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to rack the 8, the 9, and the 10 ball racks, okay? So pretty simple. Now, I'm not gonna do it in 15 seconds. What you wanna do is just line it up on the spot, make sure you're level back here, place your first ball, place your next two. Don't worry about getting too perfect right off the bat, okay? And it's gonna take us about, 15 or so seconds. So now, what you have to do is just tap them in place. Now, sometimes you need to tap them a little more, but right now, as you can see, that is the perfect rack. I don't see any spaces. That is why they call it the perfect rack every time. Okay, so that's how simple it is to rack the 8-ball rack. Now, I'm gonna bring my other rack in, my 9 and my 10-ball rack. Now, there is a back and a front, okay? If you can't read it, that's the back side, so you wanna make sure that you can read the writing. Okay, so you'll place it, okay, for 9-ball. No particular order. I'm just going to throw them on here for now. Okay, and again, all you have to do, give them a little tap, make sure everything is touching, and there you go. That's simple with the 9-ball rack. Okay, now, nothing, no gaps, perfect 9-ball rack. Now, if we wanted to throw a 10-ball rack in there, again, no order, just gonna throw them on here, okay? There's your 10-ball rack, okay? Now, a couple things I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna adjust the camera angle a little bit. And I tried this a little bit yesterday. So one of the big concerns about these racks are, number one, what happens if we break and we have a ball left on the rack? For instance, your 9-ball sits right here. Okay? First of all, I want to show you, and what I do is I actually, to prove a point, I'll use both racks, and it really does not affect the ball at all. Okay? I didn't concentrate there. Let me go ahead and hit one here. Let me make a few in a row. Okay, let me line this up. You can get English off of it. Anything you need. And I'm hitting over both racks, which would never obviously happen. Okay, so even if I was on here and I needed to draw back, okay, I can still draw back. So that's not really a concern if the ball is sitting, but let's just say it is sitting on your rack. Okay. One thing we can do is, most people use one piece of chalk, okay, using the center of the ball. Okay. Center of the ball, pick it up, remove your magic rack, and then center of the ball touching the corner of the chalk. So your ball is back in the same spot. Now if you really want to get technical and you're playing a little more serious game, they do make little spacers that you can adjust the ball, but not everybody carries those. What you can do is use 2 pieces of chalk right next to them. Now we can remove the rack and we can move that ball back until it touches those 2 corners, and there we go. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit a few breaks, and we're going to test out first the 8-ball magic rack, and then we're going to test out the 9-ball magic rack. Make sure I give you a nice angle so you can get a good look at it. Okay? So it's going to take me just a second to rack these up. Okay, again, I can read the writing. If I flip it over, it is backwards. So we want to make sure shiny side up, right on my spot, make sure I'm nice and level. Okay, place that first ball, and then just continue down the line. Again, you don't have to be real specific with it, because I can tap that back into place. Okay, just kind of roll it into place. Okay, and then I want to make sure I touch everything together. And my 2-ball, need a little adjustment. Okay, there we go. Let's see how I do. All right, so go ahead and just give this a little hit. So as you can see, I pocketed two balls on the break, I believe. So not bad, pretty nice spread. You can see that I hit them pretty well. I have the majority, about half the balls across the half the table, and we have the rest of them back here with a pretty decent spread. Okay, I have a pretty decent shot on my 15 ball to run out the high balls. So not too bad, okay? Let's try one more, and then we will go to our 9-ball rack. Again, pretty simple. On the dot, where I can read it, place that first ball, and you'll get a lot better at it. Just roll them into place. Okay, again, not a big deal right there. Okay, I'm just gonna get them all into place now. Make sure we have no gaps. Reed ball needs a little adjustment. Good. 15. Sometimes you turn the ball. Good. Okay. One more with the 8-ball rack. Okay, again, pretty nice, at least 2 balls on the break again. Okay, pretty decent solid, well, solid or strike run out. So as you can see, no complaints right there. No complaints right there on those racks. You can't say somebody racked you dirty right there. Okay, so pretty impressed. As I said yesterday, it was my first experience with it. I've always used wooden racks or the Delta 13. Now, let's go to some 9-ball. Again, on the spot where I can read it. It's actually the shiny side up. Okay, again, place your first ball. Make sure we're lined up for the back ball. And again, I'm not going to put these in any particular break order. I'm just going to put them on here so we can show you what we have. As you can see, 15 seconds to set it up is pretty accurate. There's your 9-ball rack, ready to roll. See how we do. I can't complain. I didn't make a ball, but great spread on the table for my opponent to run out. So, but that's okay. You know, that's what we're looking for. I'll adjust my break spot and we'll get a ball to drop. I'm just throwing it down on the table right now. Let's get one more in. Again, make sure we're straight. Here we go. Let's see what we have. Let's see if I can create a little angle here. All right. I did scratch on the break, but again, I'll adjust my angle. Again, great table for a run out. So, in my review here of the Magic Rack, and let me show you what the beauty of this. We can just pick this up, put it up here for future use, okay? So, in my review of the Pro Magic Rack, awesome. You get a tight rack every time. I wish I would have gotten it a little earlier. They've been available for a good while now. But compared to what we're used to, you don't get a tight rack every single time, so your breaks are a little off every single time. I'll adjust my spots. I'll get used to where I want to break with this. and we'll get more consistent with that. But again, I appreciate all the support for the channel. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you're just watching for the first time, we're about 50-50 now. About 50% of my viewers are not subscribed. Please help us out and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build something pretty special here. And again, thank you to all my supporters. Couldn't do it without you. And as always, have a good one.